In a quarter mile, keep right to stay on Harlem River Drive. Keep right to stay on Harlem River Drive. Continue for 9 miles.
Alright guys, we're commuting to Sean Diddy Combs' trial. I had a interview on a big network today, so you guys will get to see that. I have bad news. I'm very upset this morning. I'm not upset, I don't have a dog in the fight, but they got rid of that juror. And that's a problem for me, man. I mean, forget about Diddy case. This was bad. So the final verdict came in, and juror number 6, which is on record that he was a black guy, he's been replaced for lacking candor. So there was a discrepancy about where he lived. I broke it down over the weekend. You know, the whole breakdown as far as why I came across that he lied. But he was replaced, from my understanding, with an older gentleman that's an accountant and what have you. I believe that's on record. Don't quote me on that yet. So, yeah, that's what's going on. This is New York City, people. You know, outside of the court, it's kind of disappointing to see how this went down. You know, when the case started off, the defense said there was 9 black men slated to be potential jurors, and the prosecution struck down 7. That only left 2. One of them went on to the main jury pool of 12. And the other one went into the alternate. So now you only had 1 in the jury, and now he's out of here. So it's just troubling to know, you know, I never knew that this could happen. I mean, anything is possible, but for a case like this, and Brian Steele even brought out in court on Friday that, you know, this juror seemed like he was paying attention, he wasn't asleep. And a lot of times you can see what the jurors are saying or how they're responding to certain testimony. So this is quite troubling to me. I know for the defense, they even put out a letter last night because someone sent it to me last night. They sent me the letter where Shapiro, who's representing Diddy, she basically, was saying, take a look at this. This is a serious matter. Well, he's out of here. And starting off on Friday, I thought from what the judge was saying that, this juror wouldn't be removed. But when he came back in the afternoon, it was a different tone that I got from him. And I see that this is a big deal for this case. Yeah. I can't say with so much to you guys, but I think I've said enough to where you understand where I'm coming from. And I try to be very unbiased, and I'm just bringing you guys the facts, but certain things you just need to know. Welcome to New York, people. Imagine living like this here. Imagine being on the 30th floor every day of your life, and if you forget your keys or whatever, you gotta go right all the way back up the elevator. What if you're picking up groceries or whatever? This is not a life for me, But this is New York, folks. Look at here. They have, I guess that's their little hockey or whatever. Alright, so that's just a little update. Today they have the guy, I don't know if you guys remember seeing the guy Brendan. Hold on a second. Good morning, everybody. Shout out to everybody. I don't know if you guys recall, there was a guy that was arrested around the time that Diddy was arrested. Maybe like a white guy, maybe in his 20s or early 30s. His name was Brendan. He's going to be on the stand today. They already had a lady on the stand because basically for some reason they haven't, and this is my issue with this case, and you guys are really catching me in rare form because I'm really talking things that I typically don't want to talk about on my channel. But today we're going to be having a casual conversation. So here's the trouble that I have with the case, right? And this is all my opinion, and I'm not really giving an opinion about Diddy. I think the government has laid out their case. Anybody saying that they haven't laid out a case, they done lost their last mind, Every day they drop a case. And even today, now here's my problem. Christina Quorum was Diddy's main lady, his chief of staff. She knew where everything was moving. We didn't hear from her. Also, all of the people that have come on, except Capricorn Clark, they basically were in some sort of relationship with Diddy per se. I'm not talking about Cassie's mom. I'm not talking about the guy Frank Piazza, who's a video expert. I'm talking about the victims in this case. Everybody can argue, hey, this person is suing Diddy now, or Cassie got $20 million from him. Jane Doe, he's still paying her rent and her legal fees. Mia, she was able to get some money out of him and potentially may sue him. So you can make all those arguments. And also on the cross-examination, a lot of their testimony was called into question because you get a guy like Brian Steele on your case. It just makes you look foolish on the stand, even though you could be telling the truth, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying the defense is, they're heavy hitters. So, if I was trying to establish a case against anybody, let's say like John Gotti. When they took out John Gotti, I think he won his first racketeering case, right? But when you pull in his best friend who's the driver of the car, or you pull in the security guard, now you start to build a case. Even though they get immunity and they can't be prosecuted, now you really start to build a case. So in this case so far, they've named the final witnesses, and Christina Quorum is not there. They haven't pulled in Bonds, Paulie, Uncle Paul, all these people that they keep talking about in court. Oh, here you go. I forget. I'm supposed to be showing you New York. So this is New York, people. We're going down. We're going all the way down to the bottom. I forgot I'm supposed to be giving you a little tour of the drive down, and I got so caught up in my story. At any rate, we're on the FDR Drive. For all of the people out there that used to live in New York, I know you probably appreciate. I usually go down the West Side Highway, but I'm going by the Brooklyn Bridge, so I have to come down the FDR. I'll probably have another. There you have it, guys. You can see my truck. The latest and the greatest. I love this truck. I got a brand new Yukon luxury edition, but off the road in case we gotta go into the fields or ride off terrain. You know, this car can go through the snow or anything else, right? All right, so yeah, in this case, they haven't given us those type of individuals that were in Diddy's close circle, so it's still shaky to me as far as the jury is concerned and how they'll swing on this case. Because again, the defense has done a wonderful job in cross-examination, probably the best that money can buy. And he has, I believe, it's 9 attorneys. And let me tell you, that little the lady, African American attorney that Diddy has. And when I say African American, I'm just trying to get you guys to understand, like, what I'm talking about description-wise. There you go on the yacht over there. You see the yacht, guys? I guess this when you're big time over there, right? Okay, so her name is Nicole Westmoreland. I mean, she is top of the line. The way she does her cross-examination, she asks the right questions that really people start falling apart under that type of scrutiny, you know. So there we are. I know a lot of people are upset about the juror being moved, but it is what it is. The case goes on. But the guy that's on today, Brendan, I guess they called him the drug mule. So today I guess we'll get to hear about how the drugs or whatever were moving around. But the lady from this morning, she essentially broke down all the text messages for people like Christina Coram and all of the security guards. So basically, they didn't even have to bring him into court because the federal personnel agent that was there this morning, she basically broke down and showed how they were ordering drugs and how sex workers were being moved around. So yeah, when it comes to the government, folks, you might as well, when they come after you, in my opinion, you pretty much have to hang it up. And if they're kind enough to offer you a deal, you better consider taking it, because R. Kelly, now he's on a different level though, but he got hit with the same RICO, and eventually that RICO is going to show up in your neighborhood, and you're going to start to see people getting hit with RICOs, like a one-man RICO for their companies. So that's why when you work for people and they ask you to do stuff that are not above board, you can't go to court at the end of the day and say, well, yeah, it was my boss, so that's why I ordered extra baby oil and I was setting up a freak off, you know. They're not going to hear that. They're going to pull you in, arrest you, degrade you, and you're going to have to come to court and testify, and if you don't sing like a canary, they're going to have you locked up. That's what's going to happen. So there's a lot to be learned here, but the whole switch out with the juror, I think that this is, now we're in a different ball game. At least I think if I was a part of the defense, I'd be very concerned right now. It's just simple math. And I think that with Donaldson standing up and talking about how Donaldson, he's the attorney for Diddy, tall African American guy. He said he's been practicing law in the same courthouse for 25 years. And he said this is the most diverse jury that he's ever seen. And he was pleading with the judge, please do not let this juror go. They felt like it wasn't as serious just because it's almost like he got confused about his answer. It could have been debated. They wanted to have a debate whether he legitimately lacked candor. But at the end of the day, he's out of here. And I can imagine that this is a tough day if you're Sean Puffy Combs. Guys, we're looking across into Brooklyn, coming down the FDR, basically on the left side of Manhattan. So you get a chance to see what it's like to drive down. Not far away from the courthouse. Day 24, folks. I was really hoping that this juror would stay on, honestly, because just for the integrity, and this is just, I'm not a lawyer or anything like that, but just for the integrity of all the people, because I've been in a courtroom every day. I see the responses of people, people that are just observing, people that are tied to the case, and I think most people were saying that they were hoping this juror would be able to stay on just to have a clear indication of they're guilty or not guilty. But this whole system is set up to where jurors can leave and another alternate juror would just fill in their place. So the system works, and I guess we'll see what happens with the final call would be. I don't know what this guy's doing over here. What's going to happen in the end, folks. But today they're laying it on thick because now we're getting to the paperwork. So far in the trial, we basically dealt with individuals giving their testimony about how they were beat and assaulted. I mean, just atrocious stuff. But now they're backing it all up with the documentation, folks. And it don't look good, I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm not going to lead you on. It's not a matter about what I think or anybody else think. The government don't play games with you. And the way they pull up these text messages from 20 years ago just like nothing, I don't think the average person understands like how serious that is. They use this service called Celebrate, I believe, and it just pulls up all your text messages. Like the other day they showed how Diddy is interacting with different people and Cassie, and they pull up those text messages from each individual, and they could pull it all in and show it to you what everybody was saying and where they were located. It's amazing, you know. So modern technology has really made these cases something to think about. So yeah, folks, we're about, as you can see, 12 minutes away from the courthouse. Yep, I'm driving the gas guzzler here, my Yukon. It would probably be ideal for me to drive a Tesla, but the Tesla has to be charged, and because I'm driving so far, I don't have time for all that today. So there you go. This is one of the big bridges. We're going to see the bridge that the Mexican Navy hit about 3 weeks ago. We'll see that. Folks, this is Manhattan. You can see how people live in these high-rise buildings. It costs a fortune to live here. But it's an awesome place. So New York, here you go. Here's the bridge, guys. Let me try to get to a few comments here. I see people are saying things. What up, Joe? Joe Flores. Joe knows all about it. Joe, we just came through here when we met with those guys, so I think we drove this way. I think you drove this way, right, Joe? Oh man, look at that guy. He's just a superior driver. Okay. I'm sorry about that. So I don't know. I accidentally muted it. I don't know where. So anyway, this is Lower Manhattan where the World Trade Centers fell, guys. You can see my destination. The court is right down here by the Brooklyn Bridge. When you come in New York, you guys can take the boat rides. You can also see the helicopters. I don't know how I muted the phone, but anyway. This is the FDR. I was telling you guys how the juror was removed and how that's a pretty tough situation. So I don't know where I dropped off at. So I'll do a show later tonight and I'll go over everything I talked about. I don't know what you heard and what you didn't hear. At any rate, let's see. the Diddy trial. The courthouse is 500 Pearl Street. Across the water there, you see those luxury. Actually, some of that's New Jersey too, though. Let's see. No, my bad. New Jersey's on the other side I'm thinking about. This is all Brooklyn over here. I'm so used to being on the West Side Highway. You can see here, I guess these are lifeguards of some sort. I'll show you in 1 minute. You can see the lights on. I guess they're having some sort of emergency. You see that there, right there. Boom. So, I guess they're going to rescue somebody. There's the Brooklyn Bridge, and that's Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn. The courthouse is right by Brooklyn Bridge. Typically, I take the train in. Today, I had to do a show on a big network. So, yeah, I had to do what I had to do. And we're about to go back in the courthouse and see what's going to happen for the rest of the day. But I was saying that the juror was removed and how devastating that is for the defense. Because when the case started, the defense complained to the judge and said there's 9 black men and the prosecutor.
In 2 miles, use the right lane to take exit 2 toward Manhattan Civic Center.
All right, folks, we got to take exit 2. Remind me to take exit 2. There were 9 black men that could potentially go into the final jury selection, and the prosecutors, they struck 7, only leaving 2. 1 went into the main jury, the other went into the alternates, and so that 1 has now been moved, and he's been replaced by someone of a different persuasion. And I think it's just an interesting concept. I mean, the judge did highlight that the person did not use candor, was not totally honest. However, the defense argued that he just simply made a mistake, not knowing. He's not like understands legal jargon or whatever and all the legit. So that's what they were trying to argue. Last night, I was sent a letter late last night. In that letter, the defense approaches the judge, and basically they make a strong argument as to why the jurors should stay on. But in the final analysis, he's out of here. So this is the Brooklyn Bridge here. This is New York City, folks. This is Brooklyn over here. Okay, so Brooklyn, wait, this is not the Brooklyn. The Brooklyn is further down, my bad. This is the Williamsburg right here. And then the Brooklyn is the next one down. This is the Manhattan Bridge, and the Brooklyn is the one furthest down that I'm going to turn by. They all look the same at some point, right? So that's the Manhattan Bridge, the blue one. And okay, you're looking at Brooklyn now, where this is Manhattan. So when I'm in the subway, I'm under all this confusion. And we're almost
in a quarter mile, use the right lane to take exit 2 toward Manhattan Civic Center.
The Statue of Liberty, we can't see it now. Take exit 2 here. So let me get over here. So this is a vast city, folks. And I'm going right down there to the courthouse, all right?
Use the right lane to take exit 2, then keep right.
I used to live there where you see the welcome sign in Brooklyn years for quite some time.
Keep right.
Right. So we're going to do it right here. All right, folks. So this is it.
In 600 feet, use the right lane to turn right onto Pearl Street.
Okay, so I gave you guys a different viewpoint of how to get into the city. It's not
use the right lane to turn right onto Pearl Street.
It's not so intimidating. You know, the courthouse is 500 Pearl Street, so I'm on Pearl Street right now. At some point here, when I get on the subway, you can actually see where this bridge starts. So this is the bridge here. It starts over there. And I have a good GPS system. Today I'm driving my Yukon. I got a new Yukon. I love it. It's a terrific vehicle. I have the luxurious off-road edition, so it's definitely something wait a minute, I need to park. I think I need to park. They told me, so
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Oliver Street.
We're about to pass the courthouse. I have to find parking, so I think this is going to be parking right here. Let's see. No. Let's see. NYPD. No, I don't want to park there at the NYPD. Leave that. Okay. So, from what I can recall, I think the courthouse is going to be on my left-hand side here. So this is the street that the courthouse is on. There's always people, places, and things. Well, put my cell phone down for a minute anyway. So let's see here. Okay. Let's see where on Pearl Street. So parking this big truck is going to be a challenge. So I'm going to check out here in a few shakes. Okay, so I'm going to be taking a left up here. Okay, yeah, I know where I'm at now. Oh boy. So let's put this down.
Turn left onto Oliver Street, then turn left onto Park Row.
No smoke with the police here. Okay, very good. Alright, so right now I'm by the courthouse and I have to find parking. So now you guys see why I take the train. All this parking business every day, I'd be late dealing with this nonsense, you know. Police everywhere. So this is the courthouse right here.
Turn left onto Park Row. Okay,
so gotta go down Park Row. No, I don't want to go down Park Row. I want to go straight. Yeah, okay. Actually, the courthouse is down that strip right there because this is where I usually walk to get a drink. All right. Okay, guys, so thanks for coming on the this little tour with me. But every day of driving would be insanity.
In 600 feet, you will arrive at your destination.
So you can see the media here outlet. This is usually where I'm walking across the street. Oh, here's the parking where I need to park at right here. Okay.
Use the right lane to turn right onto Mulberry Street.
Okay, so let's see. This is where I need to park at. The courthouse is right here to your left where you see the people crossing the street. That's the courthouse right there. Where you see everybody gathered in front of. Alright, so I'm going to go here and park if I can get my big old truck down here. So the courthouse is there where you see all the people gathered. And boy, oh boy. I guess I'm good. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll be back on later after court is over. I appreciate you guys. And thank you to my moderators. But please, guys, let's not throw people out unless if they make jokes on me or whatever, I don't care. I can take it, as long as they're not just being too vulgar. But let's put them on timeout.
Head east toward Worth Street, then turn right onto Worth Street.
Some people just want attention. They just need a hug or something. Especially when I do the riots or the protests, the Trump supporters really get rowdy. I expect that, so let them rock out. As long as they're not being harmful to other people. But thank you guys for what you do. I appreciate you. I'm going to